But ladies and gentlemen, we got a good show for y'all tonight. Hopefully y'all be entertained. Let's go ahead and get this started, man. It's finally over. And now they're just waiting to see what's going to happen to my main man, P. Diddy. I got my baby all ready if he does get free.
Now to the closing arguments in the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial. Prosecutors making their final case, accusing Combs of using power, violence, and fear to get what he wanted. Chloe Molas has been following it all for us from the courtroom. Chloe, what else did prosecutors say today?
Tom, so prosecutors took a little under 5 hours to deliver their closing arguments, and they really zeroed in on the racketeering charge that Combs faces. Remember, he could go to up to life in prison if convicted on this. And prosecutors saying that he ran a criminal enterprise. They called it his kingdom, that he had people working for him like assistants, carrying out illegal activity on his behalf. Everything from kidnapping, arson, bribery, and transporting drugs across state lines. All the jurors have to believe, Tom, is that he committed 2 of those acts, and that could potentially be life in prison, like I said.
Hey, you heard what you said. All they got to do is two to get him life imprisonment. But Pharaoh, I'm coming to you first, man. What charge do you believe Sean Diddy Combs will be convicted on? Pharaoh can't hear me.
There I go. I'm in and out.
Yeah,
I'm
you
in and out
it
like
out.
a thief. I swear to you.
Well, Tim Dawg, I'm gonna come to you then.
Yeah.
What? But better yet, let's back up. I want you to answer this question first. Then we come to this one. What charge? And that's the same one, dumbass. Get that one out the way. There it is, right there. Do you believe that prosecution proved their case to convict Sean P. Diddy Combs? Tim Dawg.
No. What evidence did they show other than witnesses saying, and you can't, they never really proved the case. The only thing, I mean, just like everyone was saying, the only thing to me that they proved was, he's a abusive motherfucker who's arrogant and like power. But they haven't proved any of those federal charges. Now, I do agree with the defense attorney. He said that most of those charges were state charges and should have been filed in state charges, but they weren't. So we are here in federal court. And to me, that was, compelling as far as them trying to prosecute him on racketeering and saying that the company is a enterprise for doing bad. And I mean, if it's an enterprise for doing bad, it's surely doing good in a lot of areas. So I don't see it. I don't see anything. I don't. If any of the charges, maybe what is that? The sex charge, the
Sex
taking
trafficking.
for sex trafficking. Excuse me. Yeah, maybe that, only for the simple fact that Cassidy said that he would make her go with him to places so that he could have a free car. And that right there is the only thing I could see technically them trying to get him. But other than that, I don't see the evidence that he was doing all the things that the federal court, federal prosecutors were charging him. I don't see it.
Yeah, conspiracy brother. I know you. That's why we call you conspiracy brother. Your thought? You think the prosecution laid out a good case to get Sean P. Diddy Combs convicted, and of course, like Tim Dawg said, with this, it could have been held state charges. Or do you think they overreach because who Puffy is?
Honestly, I stopped watching really after I really wasn't watching the first week, but I stopped really paying attention to it because it seemed like a bunch of bullshit at this point. It seemed like the taxpayers' money have been wasted. But at the same time, a lot of the things that did happen, he did through his corporation. So that might hurt him. But like I said, I thought it was gonna be some more shit than what they was doing. Shit, just like a bunch of bad relationships he had.
Yeah.
Just
Like you
not
said, he's
making
a
good
swinger.
decisions.
And that
He a fruit boy and just hiding what he liked. If he had just been who he was, he probably wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what I said. We don't know. We don't know how what's the verdict going to be. But Pharaoh, did the prosecution prove their point that Puffy committed the crimes that they say that he did?
Before I answer that,
Go
we
ahead.
know Puffy is the son of a gangster's second driver, whatever. So the
Yeah.
man has been living his life since he was a kid. Secondly, he ain't done shit Trump ain't done. So, I mean, if you look at like what the guy said in the beginning, using his power, his position for power, da 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 da, Trump is doing that right now in office. So, what are we talking about? Those people kidnapping, which I don't see, voluntarily stayed with this dude. He didn't hold anybody hostage. They stayed with him. They were grown people. They decided to go to these freak offs because they were trying to get somewhere in their career. That just happened to be the avenue that they took. I mean, how many were in the 80s and 90s and 70s that we heard about that before? So no, they didn't prove anything. All they did, like Eat Your Pineapple said, you wasted taxpayers' monies for how long now? And this dude,
2 months.
Yeah,
now
28
Johnson
days.
Johnson's upset because they ain't nobody else buying no damn baby oil. So
Yeah. Y'all brought for that. Hey, coming back to you, conspiracy brother. I
boy.
know
That's a
you
big
say
thing,
that.
net profits.
I know you say that they wasted the taxpayer money, but don't you think that, hey, we need to get this big fish because of what Cassie said, and to make I guess to put him, I would say put him back in his place, because Sean P. Diddy Combs was one of the big ambassadors for liquor, what else, clothing, and that's how he
now
made his money. Go ahead, Pharaoh.
I
Before
agree. Now I won't say that. I won't say that yes, put him back in place, whatever the case is.
okay,
But I do know that there's nobody careers lasted long with this dude. He got him, used him, and kicked them jokers to the curb.
yeah,
But what I will say is he's just a smokescreen for what's going on in the United States right now.
I got you.
And that's what I'm saying about wasting taxpayers' money. We got bigger fish going on. We got Iran strikes, strikes going on. But you worried about a man and some grown people decide to stay with him for some freak offs.
Yeah, yeah.
How about the mayor?
And conspiracy, but the reason why I say that, put him back in his place, because soon as Puffy went at what the people that make De Leon, when he was pimping their alcohol, they say that he's going to spill the beans, then all this came out. Can you see that the conspiracy angle, that the big people that have billions and more money than him came after him to force the government to bring this man down?
That's what happened when you fuck with the people that's paying you.
Bill Cosby.
Essentially, they control him, and they know all his dirt. But I don't think they did a great job of putting it all out there. I think they like I said, I don't know everything that they showed in
Yeah,
the courtroom. I didn't pay attention to none of the witnesses what they were saying. So they may still have enough evidence just to convict him. Like I said, he was using his business to buy the drugs and to do a lot of these things. So just off of that alone, you can go to jail just off of that.
yeah,
So
and when I listen to it, they say the prosecution said that you just have to find one charge to convict him, yeah, or two charges, or you just have to
yeah,
believe. So the prosecution told them, dog, they laid it open like, hey, if you think that he did it, he's guilty. Do you agree with that?
Hell no, because that's just saying. I mean, if I think you gay, does that make you gay? Come on, man.
Right.
Yeah, that's just the prosecution trying to taint the jury a little bit, with words like that, the wordplay. And to me, the prosecution really, I mean, if you are, sex trafficking, even if it's just one person, that means that person is doing it under duress. It has no choice. They don't do it just because they love a person, from which every person that I can recollect said about Puffy for the prosecution. Every witness said that they still love him. So, I mean, come on. You
You got
can't
my
sit there, and say that he's forcing people to do it when they say that even today that they still love him, even though they testifying against him.
well, he got that
still gonna be
Devo
forced
mind
to do
control.
something because you when you love somebody, hell, your
Yeah,
parents made you do shit that you didn't want to do, and you
Okay.
love them. So that ain't got nothing to
That's a
do with it. Like I
that's a
said,
different kind of love. That's a
yeah.
different kind of love.
just with Cassie's situation,
Mm.
he controlled her whole career. She was signed to Bad Boy. So if she wasn't putting out no music, she wasn't making no money. So
Right.
essentially, he could hold her hostage because he held everything that she essentially owned. Everything was
Okay, so
in the company's in the company's name, so she had nothing of her own, and wasn't she had a 10-album contract, and I think she put out a couple of singles from the time they've been working together. So essentially, you can say he was kind of holding her hostage because he wasn't letting her make no music so she could make money so she could find a way to leave.
Because she was
So you
making
kind of
videos.
say
no, but still,
at whose
she had
behest though. It's
Mhm.
not like she was a freak off girl from before, and once she got with him, that's when everybody known her as the freak off girl.
Right.
Everybody knows she was the
Yeah.
get around. So
Okay.
you can't just say that because she probably still do love him. He probably did a lot for her, and she probably saw a lot of good in him.
Mhm.
And just like with people, they see potential. Like, oh, I
Hey,
see the potential in this
Nora.
person, so I wanna stay
What's
with
going
it.
on,
And
Noah?
fuck, he's a billionaire, so
Mhm.
fucking, I take a couple of lumps. Shit, I've seen chicks on Facebook talking about, oh, he pay all the bills and everything. If he beat me every so often, I'm okay with that.
Damn. All right.
Some people just they got no sense.
You
They
need to
weren't
change.
raised right.
I need you to change your algorithm.
Mhm.
You see that? So King,
But that
this
because
was my.
the P Diddy shit was popping up every fucking 5 minutes.
I got you. I got you. Hey, but King, this is the question I'm going to ask you right now. What charge do you believe Sean P. Combs, if
What's
he's
good?
convicted, is going to be convicted on?
What other charges? What's the charges? Because I
I
don't
guess.
even
I
know.
guess. I guess
Man,
Pharaoh done fell out again. His internet is all janky.
man, God, dog, man.
Hey, here it is. You can read at the bottom. What charge do you believe that Sean P. if he's convicted, they're gonna get him on?
You know he can't read.
Yeah,
See, you can hear.
I read. I don't know,
Oh,
man. Like,
Tim Dog gone. He laughing at you. His
I
internet went
guess,
out.
I guess my internet kicked him out. Good Lord,
But
man.
or you say you don't know?
I really don't know what they could get him on, man. Because, like you said, I paid more attention to the coverage that they didn't give the Amber Company and Fitch people over Puffy, and they actually were convicted. I mean, actually did child sex trafficking. You know,
Yeah.
and
I
so,
got.
I spent more time trying to research them because Puffy had adults. These jokers were dealing with underage children,
Yeah.
and they didn't get no coverage.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. And coming back to you, Tim Dog, because you all right? Look at that joker. His internet is out. King
He
internet is
got a
janky.
gray halo, just like his damn hair.
Now he can't hear nothing. See, you talking shit about King. See, that's why you shouldn't be talking shit about shit. See, when you talk shit about shit, you get all jacked up.
That old
Thursday.
instant karma hit his ass.
Your ass get.
That's what his ass get. I'm coming to you, because
I
it
don't
took
know,
them.
man.
Yeah, it took them 5 hours to sum up the case before the defense had their chance to do what they needed to do. And like Tim Dawes said earlier, the defense poke holes all in the prosecution case.
Right now, attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs are giving their closing arguments in the music mogul's racketeering and sex trafficking trial. The defense has been attacking the credibility of the government's case and the testimony of its witnesses, telling jurors that Combs is on trial for what the defense calls a swinger's lifestyle.
Combs's lead attorney has mocked the federal searches on Combs's homes and has used humor and sarcasm trying to slam the federal RICO charges. The defense has also painted Combs as an ambitious entrepreneur who broke barriers in the music industry. Combs faces up to life in prison if he's convicted on the most serious counts against him. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges that he's facing. Let's go to CNN anchor and chief legal analyst Laura Coates, who is there outside the federal courthouse. Laura, what's the latest?
This has been an amazing closing defense argument. We were waiting to figure out what they would say as the defense, and here we have it. It's a tale of two trials, they're saying. One, on the one hand, with the evidence and witness testimony tells you, on the other hand, what the prosecutors want you to believe, which is why they went into great detail about the kind of person that Sean Diddy Combs is, aspects of DEI and diversity ahead of his time in terms of corporate America, talking about love life and his lifestyle and things that you might not be able to relate to, but that is there. It was really a striking contrast in style and tone from what the prosecution gave. This one far more folksy, far more meandering, but in the same vein, trying to go to the heart of the matter to convince this jury that there is nothing to see that the government was invited into a bedroom of this particular couple. They own the domestic violence, but say that's very separate from what this really is. And they question, almost guffaw at the idea of this being a RICO case.
And coming back to you, Pharaoh, did Puffy defense prove that he's just a freak and an abuser and not the criminal mastermind of an organization, in your opinion?
Man, it's even hard to say that. This guy, man, he freely went about doing what he wanted to do without anybody, say anything for how many years now?
Yeah.
He was just out in the open with it. So people knew about what was going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's guilty of getting his freak on. But like I said, I'm pretty sure he had a bunch of willing participants.
Yeah.
So, so the only thing I could say that he could probably get, I won't say racketeering because I don't believe that he had anything to do with that. Maybe fraud and coercion, maybe, because the way like Eat Your Pineapple said, like Conspiracy Brother, it's more. Cassie had a 10 contract, 10 album contract.
Yeah.
But he defrauded her by, giving her a couple singles instead of actually doing the 10 albums. So maybe, stuff like that. Because like I said, a lot of artists did not get a lot of money working with this dude.
I got you. And Tim Dog, you good now?
Man, my damn fingers not. Anyway, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I got you. Well, your knuckles, not fingers.
out to touch nothing.
Your knuckles.
Yeah, like what Joe
Stop
said.
lying. Stop lying. So Tim Dog, here's the question, man. Did Puffy defense prove that he's just a freak and an abuser and not the criminal mastermind of an organization?
Yes, they did. I mean, racketeering involves, you doing some unscrupulous shit that nobody else knows about, or in using your company as a front. He's not using his company as a front. He's using his house as a front for some freak all shit. Yeah. But I mean, it's his money. He can do whatever the hell he wants with it. And it surprises me how they trying to make an example out of him when Jeffrey Epstein, they allowed him to kill himself, and the president not allowing evidence to come out. And to me, that's being hypocritical because Puffy isn't a mastermind of evil. He's just a freak. But yet you have people out here who really doing the shit, and we all know what we're talking about. We ain't judging nobody, but and divert it over to someone else who is more powerful, but yet not like them. Try to take them out.
I got you. And Conspiracy Brother, I got you. Conspiracy Brother, do you think that the defense did enough to get Puffy off?
Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs, but the thing about it is him using his company to do a lot of what he did is what's really going to hurt him. And what's probably going to end up convicting him is using company and employees and paying people back for doing things. And again, he was taking prostitutes across into Vegas and different places. So, it's a lot of minor, simple shit. But at the end of the day, you still did it and used your company to do it. If you was paying out of pocket and up front, you probably wouldn't be here. But you did a lot of things through the company, which, once you start doing illicit things with companies and the government ain't seeing they cut from it, the government don't play about getting their cut. That's why I ain't starting no business, because I don't want them to get no goddamn cut. Y'all been saying shit.
But I think that the defense poked a lot of holes, because what they say is that
holes, but
because I think
still.
Yeah, they poke holes, but I think the defense, what they did when they first started, Pharaoh, he's an abuser. If this was a domestic violence case, y'all got it. Yeah. But this is just a man that loved to do freaky shit. and they don't
Use
want
his
government.
company to
I don't
listen to freaky shit.
allegedly until he's found. We gonna say allegedly, but what I'm saying,
I
Pharaoh.
got the
But
right that he
yeah,
paid people back and did things.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Pharaoh, is that now you don't make me lose my goddamn thought. You talking like over me, like
Hey, what up,
Yeah,
Juan?
that ain't hard.
you know it's not hard. What's up, Juan? But Pharaoh, I guess what I'm
Lord.
saying is that you know the defense when they first came out, and the first thing they say that hey, yes, Puffy, if he's an abuser, domestic violence, y'all got it.
Right,
But he just a freaky deaky person that like to do freaky shit. And like they say, the government should not be in your bedroom. And that's what I see the defense won on that point. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in that aspect, but like everybody said, it was using his business. He had the business aspect of it, and I would say I'm gonna piggyback off of what they said when Trump had his TV show. What was that TV show where he's like
The
you're fired?
Apprentice. The Apprentice.
Okay, so he had a panel. Y'all remember the black woman that was on the panel one time?
Yeah,
And
Mama
and
Rosa.
she said she worked
Omarosa.
with yeah, she worked with Puffy, and then Trump was like, "Yeah, he's a good guy, don't you think?" And she goes, "I'd rather not say." That said a lot about Puffy just on that show alone. So
that was about 15, 20 years ago.
right. So what I'm saying is whatever is happening now has been happening. People have been knowing about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they proved that aspect, and the absurd amount of baby oil, man. Come on, we can't. Y'all keep leaving that out, man. That should be a crime to have that much baby oil in anybody's house. Anybody
ain't got no
tell me,
goddamn babies.
Y'all tell me
babies.
how many people have used a whole bottle of baby oil in their whole life? Somebody, please let me know.
I got you.
Go
I
to your
got you.
mama's house and get that same baby oil you got when you was a kid.
He didn't have socks on, Warren. He had on knee highs.
Yeah. But Tim Dog, let me ask you this question now. They say he could get life if they convicted of 2 of those charges. He could get up to life. But Tim Dog, let's say Puffy is found innocent. Can Combs, if he's found innocent, will he ever be able to redeem himself?
No.
Yeah.
He done.
No, he is not done. Trust me on that. No, because if he's found innocent, then he could use that as saying, see, they trying to take me down. They know that, hey, I may do this and do that. Racketeering, sex trafficking, and all that. Trust me, he's going to recover from that. He has the money and the means to do it. Public relations, I mean, they going to make a field day off of this if they get the opportunity to get him a better image. So yeah, I say he's going to get off. I mean, he's going to look good after this.
And conspiracy brother, can you see him being able to redeem himself, especially with the domestic violence they're seeing, the people saying what he did to women, and of course, like Pharaoh say, him always shortchanging his artists, and the freak off, all this stuff. Can you see him ever being able to redeem himself in the public eye? And me say this before you talk, conspiracy brother. O.J. Simpson, even though he got off, he was never able to get that reputation back that he had before the murder case against him. Even though he was found innocent, he could never get that off of him, saying that yes, you are the person that they say you are. So would he be?
He not gonna be able to get that off of him because we saw him abuse a woman. It's the footage is there. The testimony is there, so he's gonna have a tougher hill to climb than any other person because most of them once they go to jail or they on the trial they kind of just disappear because not many of them come back and revitalize their career like they once had because damn sure ain't because all them people that once worked with him ain't gonna work with him again where he was getting his money from.
Exactly.
So he might have to start some small businesses, which start a goddamn bodega in New York somewhere or something.
Hold on now.
He ain't about to be back.
Wasn't Tupac convicted of sexual assault?
To take that.
Wasn't he convicted? And what happened? I said, wasn't Tupac convicted of sexual assault?
That was before social media.
Yeah, but
social media now dominates the world we live in.
Plus,
ain't nobody really.
Tupac,
I ain't get none of my information from the news. Everything I found out came through social media.
The media. I
right?
got
But
you.
Because
Tupac
social
was
media runs the
Tupac was a
world. You
different
ain't getting
person, though.
shit out the news no more.
Yeah,
And so is
you know,
Puffy.
we gonna talk about Tupac. Tupac was for the people. He recovered. He was always for the people. So I would not use that as a you know, an comparison to what Puffy has done.
Yeah, but go ahead, Farrell.
Tupac
You
wasn't
chimed
nothing
in
but an
earlier.
actor.
You
He was
chimed
an
in.
actor. That's all he was.
You chimed in earlier. You saying that he could never redeem his image again. Go ahead. I'm
Right,
gonna elaborate a little bit more.
Like what Conspiracy Brothers said, we now know him as whatever. You don't want to be associated with a person like this. You know, now before you was using him to get ahead. Now that he's basically, you know, on trial, the world for him to, you know, be seen and all his secrets is out, would you risk running around with this guy now, regardless of who he was in the past? You know, Kanye didn't do nothing like this, and he's ridiculed.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a really good artist. So yeah, he does some crazy stuff, but he sex trafficked nobody. He ain't baby oiled nobody. You know, so
He might baby on a couple of
he's stuck on that baby oil, boy. He really stuck on that baby oil.
But
that's a lot of goddamn baby oil for one person.
Kanye is talking nonsense. He's
I get that, Tim Dog, but what I'm saying is he didn't do anything close to what Puffy has done that we know of.
Illegal.
Yeah, right. That's not illegal. For him
Now,
to
if he gets
go
off,
to trial over.
When he gets off, the only thing people gonna say about Puffy was he's a freak. That has nothing to do with
and a woman beating her.
Yeah, but no, he woman beat her.
Hey, can I say this, Tim Dog? Can I say this, Tim Dog? Can I say this, Tim Dog? But to Pharaoh's point and to Conspiracy Brother, who wants to be associated with that though? And that's the thing. That's like
that's his personal.
But let me ask you. No, me ask you. No. Tim Dog, let me ask you this, Tim Dog. I understand, but answer this question. You are a businessman, and you signed Puffy on to help your brand. You think that's going to enhance it after all this? I don't give a damn how much.
Hell no.
Okay, then. So how?
Slippery contract, boy.
Hold on. There. You said will
about to
he
slip
recover?
on the baby oil.
I'm saying yes, he will recover. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy.
But how,
for him.
Tim Dog?
No.
Elaborate, please.
Well, first of all, he's more than just a music mogul. He's an entrepreneur in a lot of things. Well, he has businesses everywhere. So you saying that all the investments that he has, that no one's going to deal with him? I don't see that. Especially
what
if
he got?
he's
Sean John ain't rocking no more.
I guess. Can I say this, Tim Dog? This maybe this. I think I understand what you're saying. Maybe because he's not going to be the face of a company. What you're saying is that his investment, what he's doing behind doors. Yeah, but I'm talking about. But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and hopefully you can understand what I'm saying is the brand ambassador. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a brand ambassador for a bunch of companies. And that's what I'm saying about him redeem himself to be that brand ambassador after all this happened.
But I understand that.
And crush on him.
No, like I said, it's not going to be easy for him. It's not going to be easy. And it's not going to be real soon. This is something that he can wait out. Why? Because he has the money and the means to do it. He doesn't have to be out there.
These lawyers, you know how much he paying them lawyers for this case?
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Break his
He
ass.
got, once again, the money and the means.
He got the money in the Tim Dog. I agree. He got the money.
People.
I agree, Tim Dog. He got the money and the means, but the only brand ambassador he's going to be, like Pharaoh King said, is Johnson & Johnson baby oil. Nobody else going out. He's still gonna make his money. He still can make his money, but he's not gonna be out in front. And the Puffy that a lot of people know with the white parties and all that, that's not going down no more. No, I'm just saying. No, what I'm saying. No, nobody. But like King, like Pharaoh said earlier, and I think Conspiracy Brother said it as well. The way social media is, you can't do anything if you're a celebrity. Somebody's gonna find out. Somebody's gonna get mad, and somebody's gonna leak what y'all was doing at those free calls.
Always gonna be somebody wanting to wipe his butt because of who he is.
Hey, just like
Okay.
Suge Knight
Money
says,
rules
Yeah, one
come
time.
first.
I don't
you
think
don't
he
want
got
nobody
that kind of
to
Right
leverage no
now,
more.
he has supporters right now, so you can't say
But he
that.
don't got the leverage he used to have with all those companies, which is
Yeah.
what
You
made
don't
him
know.
what he
Just like you
was.
say, you don't
Hey,
know the
what was
outcome.
it?
You don't know
Ciroc
what's
got
going
rid
on.
of him, right?
Yeah.
Ciroc was with him,
No,
right?
he sold it. He sold his.
No,
He
he
did.
didn't. So he
He
didn't
was just
sold
a
Ciroc.
face.
He was just a face of
They
Ciroc.
they
Right,
took it
Right.
from him. It wasn't
Right.
his.
He sold his shares. He had shares in Ciroc.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, because he
Well,
had to pay lawyers. Goddamn.
well,
I'm pretty sure he got
Puffy
kicked
ain't
out
about-
of it.
all right. Let
he
me
paying
ask you
almost
this.
$10 million per lawyer.
Yeah. Me ask you this,
$10 million
Pharaoh.
per
Hey,
lawyer.
damn near.
he can afford.
The defense closed their case out today. So Pharaoh, how many days before the verdict is heard, in your opinion?
Ooh.
Starting from Monday now. Starting Monday, because they're
Monday?
not starting
Yeah,
They
tomorrow.
probably gonna have it done by that afternoon.
Okay. Okay then. Damn. What you got on conspiracy, brother? How many days you give them?
So they probably take into probably Monday of next week. Like
Okay.
after that first week, they probably go that whole week going back and forth trying to see some things, and they'll probably have it by the beginning of the week after
Man,
that.
they been getting paid $45 a day. Them niggas want to go back to work. They don't want no more $45 days.
Tim Dog, how many days you give the verdict for the verdict come out, Tim Dog?
I'll say 3 to 4. Only because the
4.
first day, first day everyone's giving their opinion. They throw you in the, do you think he's guilty or not guilty? Then people who are different, they say, well, why do you think this? Why you think that? And that may take some time, evidence and all that. So I'll give it 3 to 4 days. None of you ever served on a jury before?
It doesn't matter,
Nope.
Tim.
Yeah,
I'm saying
see,
Monday
who
afternoon.
are
they
you?
should
Who are
have it
you?
done.
Are you the police? What the
Yeah.
hell?
Nah, I'm a
Yeah, I
consultant.
did.
I'm a
Yeah, I
consultant.
did. You see the
Okay,
police
all right.
out here. Yeah, I did.
Joker
I
just
did.
asking shit.
Seven times. 7 times.